the third chapter of the book, the fundamental, the India physical environment is drainage system. Now in this chapter we are going to read about the drainage system of our country. We are going to read about the Himalayan drainage system as well as the peninsular drainage system. So at first we should know what is drainage. The drainage is the flow of the water through a well-defined channel, or we can say drainage referred as the river system of an area. Suppose if I will give the example of the Siliguri, I will say that Siliguri having the Mahananda river with its tributary, and tributaries are present with the river, so it is called the drainage of this particular area or drainage of Siliguri. Suppose if I will see Kolkata having the Hooghly river, so that is a drainage of an area. So drainage, in simple words, we can say it is referred as the river system of an area, or you can say that the flow of the water through a well-defined channel is known as drainage. Now the next one, that is called the drainage system. That is the name of the chapter. What does it mean, drainage system? Drainage system means when the network of such kind of the rivers or such kind of the channels are present, that is called the drainage system. That means a river along with tributaries, it's called the drainage system of an area. It also called the river system also. A river along with its tributaries are called the river system of an area. There are moreover some basic terms are there that we should know regarding the drainage. One of them is the drainage basin. The meaning of the term drainage basin is that area drained by a single river system. If you can see this diagram, you can see that this particular is a river and the small parts are the tributaries of the river. Now this river and its tributaries flows from a particular area. So the area drained by a single river system, it's called, or the main river with its tributaries, it's called the drainage basin. So what is drainage basin? An area drained by a single river system or a main river with its tributaries, it's called the drainage basin. Now the next one is there, that is the water divide. What is water divide? Water divide is an elevated area or an upland that separates two drainage basin. You can see over here, this blue color, this is a river and this is another channel or another river. Now this middle part, this is a upland or this is a elevated part that separates both the river, and this is called the this is called the water divide. This uplifted parts are called the water divide. Water divide is those areas, or it is the upland that separates the two river channels, and it is called the water divide. Without these things, there are also some terms are there like the catchment area. Now what is this catchment area? The catchment area means this river, suppose this is a river, it collects the water either from the glacier or from the rainfall. So the river drains the water, or whatever water is actually flowing from the river collected it from a specific area. From the nearby area only the river collect the water, and this it's called the catchment area. The river drains the water collected from a specific area, and it is called the catchment area. So these all are some basic terms that you need to remember. Now we will talk, or we will discuss about the drainage pattern. Now what is this drainage pattern? When the river is flowing, suppose in this region only the river is flowing, now the tributaries are joined the main river. What is this tributaries? Tributaries are the small streams or the small channels of the water which join the main river. In this image, this is the main river, and the small channels which join the main river, it is called the tributaries. And what is distributary? When the main river bifurcates into the numerous channels, that is called the distributary. That means when the main river is divided into different parts, and that is called the distributary of the river. Now as I going to say you about the drainage pattern. What is this drainage pattern? When the river is flowing, You can see the tributaries are also here. So all entire river with its tributary, it makes some patterns. It makes some format, or it makes some patterns. Actually, that is called drainage pattern. If you will want to get the definition of the drainage pattern, so drainage pattern, we can say the streams within our drainage basin form certain patterns depending on the slope of the land, because all the land doesn't have the same kind of the slope, and as well as depending on the rock structure. Somewhere the soft rocks are there, somewhere the hard rocks are there, as well as the climatic conditions. So when the streams are flowing with, or when the rivers are flowing with its tributaries as well as distributaries, according to the landform, according to the climatic condition, as well as according to the rock structure, they are actually having or making different patterns, and these patterns are called drainage pattern. There are different kind of the drainage patterns are there. Basically there are 4 types of the drainage pattern. One is the dendritic drainage pattern, another one is the rectangular drainage pattern, the third one is the trellis drainage pattern, and the fourth one is the radial drainage pattern. Without this also there are few drainage patterns are also, more drainage patterns are there. Now the first one, dendritic drainage pattern. What does it mean, dendritic drainage pattern? You can see this image. In this image you can see this is our main stream, and these all are the small streams which join the main stream. When a river with its tributaries flowing in such a way that it's resembling the branches of a tree, it known as dendritic drainage pattern. When a river with its tributaries flowing through a region and it looks like a branches of a tree, it is called dendritic drainage pattern. See the definition: river channel flows the slope of the terrain. Tributary along with the streams resemble branches of the tree. For this it gets the name of the dendritic. So I hope you all understood the meaning of the dendritic. Now the next one is the rectangular drainage pattern. Now what does it mean, rectangular drainage pattern? Rectangular drainage pattern means in this drainage pattern you can see here one of the river is joining another river in a right angle almost, and they are forming a rectangular shape. Here also you can see, and this kind of the drainage pattern is called the rectangular drainage pattern. Now the next one that we are having, that is called the trellis drainage pattern. What is this trellis drainage pattern? The meaning of the trellis drainage pattern means when the tributaries, like this is the trellis drainage pattern, this is the main river and these all are the tributaries. When the primary tributaries of the river flow parallel to each other, you can see these tributaries are flowing parallel to each other. This is also this one, all the tributaries are parallel to each other, and secondary tributary join them in the right angle. If small tributaries will come, they will join the tributary at the right angle. In this condition, what kind of the feature form? That is called the trellis drainage pattern. And this kind of the drainage pattern developed on the strongly jointed rocky terrain. That means where the hard rock and the soft rocks are arranged one after another. The next drainage pattern that we are having, that is called the radial drainage pattern. You can see in this kind of the drainage pattern, this center part is a hill, and from that hill or the mountain only in all the side is water is flowing. So if you will take a photo, it will looks like that the rivers are flowing in this way. And this kind of the drainage pattern, it's called the radial drainage pattern. The streams flows in the different direction from a central peak or the dome-like structure, and this is called the radial drainage pattern. Without this four, there is another one drainage pattern that is called the centripetal drainage pattern. Radial drainage pattern is also known as centrifugal drainage pattern. But without the centrifugal drainage pattern, there are another drainage pattern that is called the centripetal drainage pattern. That is the opposite of this picture. Here what happened? Here maybe or suppose in the between there is a lake is there, and all the sides it is covered with the mountain. So what will happen? After any rainfall only or whatever rivers will flow, they will flow towards the depression or towards that lake which is located in the center. So when the river discharge their waters from all the directions to a lake or a depression area, the pattern which form, that is called the centripetal drainage pattern. Here you can see from the hill the rivers are going in different directions. This is called radial or centrifugal drainage pattern. But when you will see from all the sides the river are coming and entering into the low-lying area, that is called centripetal drainage pattern. So drainage pattern is a very important topic of the chapter, and you need to go through the drainage pattern very properly. Okay.